Well, hello there, Aries. It is so good to see you. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. Today, we are going to be doing your mid-October reading. So this is good for the next 4 or 5 weeks. So from mid-October till mid-November, and it's good for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So we'll take a look at the overall energies with the Oracle cards, and then we'll move to the Tarot for more details. And if you're enjoying the content that I create or resonating with the message, I'd really appreciate it if you would consider commenting or subscribing. I really do appreciate all of your support. Okay, so Aries, let's see what we have here. Giraffe Spirit, see the big picture. I always love that card. And Truth Be Told. Yep. So Truth Be Told is really stepping into your truth of, what is the big picture you are wanting in your life? Taking a look at it, not down in the minutia of your day to day. It's kind of like the long range goal. What is it that your heart is truly desiring? Stepping into the truth of that and understanding that you have the ability to create whatever it is that you truly want. So let's see what we have. We're going to take a look at your present energy and then your obstacle or area of resistance at this time. And of course, you'll be getting over that. You'll be working on that over the next month. And then finally, advice from the Spirit about how you can move through this obstacle a little bit more quickly. So let's see what we have here. This is looking so nice. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Wow. Big energies here. Okay, you're stepping into this energy of really shining your light brightly, putting it out into the world, what it is that you truly want. It really is getting that big picture of what you are hoping for in your life. Sometimes, especially if we have a job that takes up a lot of our time, or, say you're a parent and you have young children at home and they take up a lot of your time. There's almost this sense, I almost have this sense that you're looking at your life and it's just filled with tasks, tedious tasks, right? And you're kind of like, where is this, taking me? I'm putting a lot of time and energy into daily tasks, and where is this leading me, right? So let's take the example. Say you have young children at home, young, like, under 5 or under 8, and they're taking up a lot of your time. There's a lot of things they cannot do independently. You have to provide meals for them. You have to help them bathe. You have to read stories to them. You may have to help them with their homework, right? There's a lot of time and energy. And sometimes that can become tedious when we're just kind of like, oh my goodness, could I just go take a bubble bath, or go, go for a walk without the children. But then it's a little bit about, okay, wait a minute. What is the big dream here? What is it? Why are you spending all this time, with your children, creating healthy meals for them, spending time at reading to them? Yes, you love them, but the big picture here too is that you want them to have the best start in their life, right? You're trying to set them up so that they can be happy and successful, and whatever successful means to them, right? But that you can give them as much of a loving and nurtured start to their path as you possibly can. So it's almost as if pull yourself back from the daily tedious tasks that you may be having to do at this time and see the big picture. Same thing in your career right now. Maybe you're focusing on the emails or, the meetings that you have to go to that you think are just like, oh my goodness, like, these are so long and boring and tedious and I could be doing so many other things. It's kind of like, okay, all right, so that's the day to day, but then what is it long term that why are you showing up every day in that career? It's not just for the paycheck, right? There's something long term that you want, even if you don't plan to be at that job for a long time. You're putting the time and effort into it because you're gaining experience, you're making connections, you're learning new skills, maybe you're getting some training there. So it's kind of like, okay, this is going to help me long term. I'll give you an example for myself. I'm not one that enjoys exercise. I'll just put it out there. I really don't. I enjoy going for a walk in the woods. I don't consider that exercise because I'm not really getting my heart rate up there. But when I try to gently push myself into exercising every day. And when I do, I sometimes, I can go, oh my goodness, am I going to have to do this every day for the rest of my life? I mean, I really can sometimes just like go there, right? And then I think, why am I exercising? What's the long range goal? Okay. I'm not trying to become a bodybuilder. I'm not trying to impress anybody, right? Not necessarily. What I'm really trying to do is to stay active for as long as I possibly can, to keep my body, so in shape well enough that I can go do the long hikes in the mountains that I enjoy, or, do the activities with, my children or my grandchildren, So it really is, sometimes I have to, even for, something like exercise. I know some people really enjoy it. But I feel like that is kind of the key of this message, that you deserve what you want, right? So it's about stepping into your courage to continue moving towards this big picture dream that you have for yourself. And I'm telling you why, because here you are. You have the honoring path and you're about to step onto the world. I feel like you're a shining star. Okay, so Aries, you're really a shining star. What you're going through right now seems kind of tedious. You may be thinking, why am I spending so much time doing this? There's something big out there for you. You're stepping into a whole new, you're stepping into something that is really huge. Okay. You have a story to tell. You have something to share with the world. What you're not realizing is that what you are doing, your daily routines that you are seeing as a burden, okay? It's time to kind of drop that idea that it's a burden, because it's about stepping into this energy. I feel like you're trying to move very quickly, but the energy here is that you need to kind of slow down and enjoy the journey. Smell the roses, understand, let's go back to your children, right? If you're spending, a lot of time and it's kind of like, oh, okay, let's get dinner. Okay. All right, great. Let's, get your bath. Okay. Let's read a book. I've been there. I've had 3 kids, right? I mean, I get that. There's times where it's kind of like, oh my goodness, right? Same thing, day in, day out. But it's about, okay, wait a minute. I really want my children to be happy, right? I want them to feel loved and nurtured. So I can go through the tasks and meanwhile, be playing on my phone while, they're getting ready for bed or something, or, just be preoccupied with my own thoughts, or I can be present. I can be with them. I can love them. I can enjoy these moments with them. And I guarantee you, they go by quickly. They go by quickly. So enjoy it while you're there. Yeah, because this is your obstacle. Your ascended masters are actually coming in here. They're trying to tell you that you're almost self-sabotaging your own joy in this, whatever phase that you are in. It's almost kind of like, we always talk about, the terrible twos, I don't know what the threes are. I just remember the terrible twos. It's kind of like, okay, but it's just a phase. It's almost as if you have to tell yourself, okay, it's almost like the way that I'm feeling is just a phase. I just need to kind of hold on for a little bit. I'm going to be moving forward soon. It's just this phase. It's almost like a mental phase, right? And then it's allowing yourself, to give yourself a little bit of love and compassion. Perhaps, kind of like thinking about this as a gift from the universe. It's almost as if you're thinking, okay, for me, for exercising. This morning when I was exercising, I actually said to myself, I am so lucky that I can exercise. there could be a day not too far in the future, right, where I won't be able to exercise, right? I actually said that to myself this morning. It's kind of interesting. It's coming up in this reading because I was like, yes, I need to enjoy this while I'm doing it, because there's one day I may not be able to do this. And so it's kind of like, if you have to, it's kind of like dangling a carrot in front of you, understanding that the big picture, the long range goal is really important to you. So it's about staying on this path, understanding that you have to let go perhaps of the mental anguish that you're putting yourself through, because something is taking kind of a long time. It's like the energy is slowed down and you're kind of like, I don't get it. It's about shutting the doors to any of the negative thoughts that, you're thinking. Yeah, you're afraid. You're kind of like in this energy. Is this going to last forever? Is this phase that I'm in going to last forever? It's just like if you have a 2-year-old, and you're like, oh my goodness, these terrible twos. It's kind of like, yeah, well, before you know it, your child will be 3 and then 4 and then 5, So it's kind of like enjoy every moment of whatever you are going through at this time. Yes. Oh, it's lovely. Yeah, we have the 6 of Cups on here. Somebody I think is coming in and expressing their truth, because we have the truth to be told. It's almost, and wanting a fresh start. This could be within a relationship. You could be feeling like, oh my goodness, like we're just having the same kind of arguments, or it's not even arguments. It's kind of like that tit for tat type of stuff. It's just kind of like that energy that, that needs to come to an end. It's almost as if, okay, we can do this, but we can do it in a different way, right? Because there is something about working something out in a relationship or even within yourself. To me, sometimes the 2 of Cups represents our head and our heart, kind of like, getting the head and the heart to work together, because there's a lot of options. There's a lot of different ways to look at the situation than the way that you may be looking at it right now. Hang in there, Aries. Please hang in there, because, energy ebbs and flows. And right now I feel a little bit like you're ebbing, and so sometimes it is, just go back, visualize. What is it that you want long term? And just kind of stay focused on that until this energy kind of moves out. Okay, so let's take a look at your soul truth card. And I do personal readings. So if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. All right, does my life have more room for pleasure and play? Okay, especially if you have a 2-year-old. Can you hire a babysitter or get a family member or friend that you trust to take care of your 2-year-old? Look at the long term. I'll have to say, I think having young children, I don't know why the young children is really showing up in this reading. But if you have young children, it is about taking a look at, okay, what does our relationship need in order to last long term as we're going through, this phase of having a 2-year-old, or maybe you have a teenager that can be trying to. I've had those. All right. In what area are you lacking pleasure right now? Maybe in certain relationships or with work. Is it possible to shift the seriousness of life to experiencing a more creative, wild, and playful side of you? And that's really about getting the big picture, right? It's kind of like, okay, this is just a phase, and they won't be two forever. Well, I'm going to leave it there. Please be kind and gentle with yourself as you're moving through this. Focus on the future. Stay hopeful. And I hope to see you again really soon. Much love and light to you. Bye for now.